there I am again. Good evening. Welcome to another edition of Sci-Fi Journal. This is from March 2014. We are at TempleCon 2014 at the Crown Plaza in Warwick, Rhode Island. And we always, all right, live audience. Both of you. My name is Marc Morisseau, also hosting the show. Today are...
Not all of you have hands-on experience.
Sorry. All right, as we stop the clip. All set? Good. All right. I'm Marc Morisseau, also hosting the show. Today are James Hinsey, Jay Kingston, and Calvin Watts III. Yay, yahoo! As always, we begin talking about the wonderful world of movies with a segment we call Popcorn Previews. Take it away, Jay.
All right, we've got 4 movies for us for your preview selections this month. The first one is Godzilla, starring Adam Taylor Johnson and Ken Watanabe. And this is a reboot of the iconic Japanese movie monster franchise. And in this one, Godzilla has to fight against creatures that have been augmented by human science and now threaten our existence.
I hate when that happens.
I hate when that happens too. This one is going to be released on May 16th. So let's take a look at that footage.
Gentlemen, you are being sent in via Halo Jump. Now, I realize not all of you have had hands-on experience. And frankly, none of us have ever faced a situation quite like this one before. But I would not be asking any one of you to take this leap if I did not have complete faith in your ability to succeed. Your courage will never be more needed than it is today.
All right, that looks really good. I don't mind telling you, I am there when that comes out.
Was I having a 60s flashback when I saw the music in the background sounded something like out of 2001: A Space Odyssey? At some points of it, yeah, it did.
Could be, who knows?
Well, I'm really looking forward to that movie because of the person who directed it, if I remember correctly, Gareth Edwards. A couple of years ago, he did a direct-to-DVD movie called Monsters, which was very critically acclaimed. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's available for streaming on like Netflix, Amazon Plus, that sort of stuff. On the basis of that strength alone, he got the directing abilities and directing gig for Godzilla, and this looks awesome. So...
Okay, next we have Interstellar. Now, I have to kind of apologize for this. This is very vague as far as a preview goes, but this is all we've got our hands on so far. It's a story about man's first interstellar space flight, and that's the only information I've got. I don't even have information as far as who's in it or anything like that. It does come out on November 7th of this year, and to my hearing, it sounds like Matthew McConaughey is the one doing the narration for the preview. So maybe he's in it. I don't know. But we'll show you the preview, and then you'll be caught up like we are. And this is one to watch for.
We've always defined ourselves by the ability to overcome the impossible. And we count these moments.
The first ever to fly faster than the speed of sound.
These moments when we dared to aim higher, to break barriers, to reach for the stars,
76, you are go.
to make the unknown known. We count these moments as our proudest achievements.
Having fired the imagination of a generation,
But we've lost all that.
pulls into port for the last time.
Or perhaps we've just forgotten that we are still pioneers, that we've barely begun, and that our greatest accomplishments cannot be behind us, because our destiny lies above us.
Okay, definitely one to watch for. The next film on our list is Maleficent. It stars Angelina Jolie, Charlton Copley, and Elle Fanning. This is a retelling of the Sleeping Beauty myth as told from the other side, from the side of the evil witch Maleficent. You see, apparently we're going to see how Maleficent came to be, and why she's the way she is, and why she's got a grudge against Sleeping Beauty's or Princess Aurora's family. So, let's take a look at that footage.
Behind the kiss, behind the magic,
Sweet Aurora, I wish for you the gift of beauty.
behind the legend of Sleeping Beauty,
I, too, shall bestow a gift on the child.
lies the story of Maleficent.
Curious little beastie. Bring her to me.
I know you're there. Don't be afraid.
I am not afraid.
Then come out.
Then you'll be afraid.
This summer,
Aurora, there is an evil in this world, and I cannot keep you from it.
Disney's greatest villain comes to life.
How wonderful.
Maleficent.
All right, and as the clip said, that one comes out on May 30th this year. Finally, we've got Mr. Peabody, and this stars the voice talents of Ty Burrell, Max Charles, Patrick Warburton, and Ariel Winter. And it tells the tale of Mr. Peabody, the world's smartest dog, and his pet boy Sherman.
Yep, that's right.
and your comic misadventures with the Wayback Machine.
Yep. Raise your hand if you remember Fractured Fairy Tales. Hey, all right.
Now, I remember this cartoon from when I was a kid, and it was always a hoot. So it looks like it's going to be following pretty much in the same comic vein as the cartoon. So let's take a look at that footage.
For Mr. Peabody, the only thing harder than being the world's most extraordinary dog
Is the president coming to dinner again?
You'll see. The Petersons! Welcome to our happy home.
is being an ordinary dad.
She hates me.
Share your interests. Tell a witty anecdote. Make it work. But don't tell her about the way back.
He calls it the way back. It's a time machine. Now that we've seen it, maybe we should go back. Nope.
Sherman, Penny, why are you two dressed like ancient Greeks?
I lost her in ancient Egypt. And I got engaged to King Tut. Then we ran out of gas. In ancient Troy.
You used the way back!
Yeah, she was into it.
Oh my.
Now,
Oh dear.
he's taking family time
You've used time travel improperly.
to another dimension.
We must rewrite history in order to save the universe. Ancient Egypt.
Boy, your hand's cold, Mr. Peabody.
Sherman, that's not my hand.
Ah! Ah!
That's disarming.
Heroes of Greece. Someone left this for us. A present. Nice. It looks just like our horse. Should I bring it inside? It'd be rude not to. Go!
Peabody here.
I did not see that coming.
This March,
How do you take off? You just pull down that lever. This one? Oh boy.
but if you close your eyes, the most amazing dog of all time is leaving his mark on history.
Leonardo da Vinci.
Mona Lisa.
I am halfway done with the painting. She won't even smile.
Perhaps I can be of assistance. Oh! Oh! Is everyone amused? It seems we've ripped a hole in the space-time continuum.
Drop the saber and step away from the futuristic orb.
I take orders from no man.
Take it easy, bro.
DreamWorks, Mr. Peabody and Sherman.
Why can't children be simple?
Children are not the machines, Peabody. I tried to build one. It was creepy.
And that's about it for popcorn previews for this month. And now we go over to one of our favorite segments called Game Over with Calvin Watts. Take it away, Calvin.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
Okay, so we have a bunch of releases coming out on home video. A lot of big stuff. Get out of here, you and your button pushing. So if you didn't catch last month's show, was a lot of big name titles that came out on home video release, and those would be, if you haven't forgotten already, or if you have, Thor: The Dark World, Gravity, excellent movie. I don't know about the watching it on home video, but still excellent movie. Ender's Game, and the latest from the DC animated universe, Justice League War, which is based on the beginnings of the New 52, which looks very interesting. This month we got a couple of heavy hitters for you. Starting right out at the gate on March 4th, we have Doctor Who, The Time of the Doctor. So Matt Smith's last episode and Peter Capaldi's first episode.
Have you finally watched it?
No, I haven't.
Hey,
Vacation. Sorry.
It was only in December.
You know what?
You know, like
I don't have.
It's not like you have a life. Or
oh no, not at all. Also, the Hunger Games: Catching Fire, in which probably would be a good place to talk about briefly the passing of Philip Seymour Hoffman at age 46. One of the best actors ever, in my opinion, and definitely one of the best actors of our generation. Unfortunately, due it seems to a drug overdose. Very, very sad. Let's see, coming out on the 18th, Disney's Frozen, which came out of nowhere, had a little bit of a buzz to it and turned out to be one of the biggest titles of 2014. On the 25th, it seems like Marvel is stacking up their animation universe, and their latest will be coming out, Avengers Confidential. And this stars Black Widow and the Punisher. How good that's going to be, I have no idea. But we'll see. And I wasn't going to put this because it is technically April, but it is April Fool's. But 47 Ronin, the Christmas movie with Keanu Reeves, will be out. And also a couple of catalog releases with Godzilla being redone and coming out later on in May. Universal has put out on Blu-ray for this month King Kong vs. Godzilla and King Kong Escapes. So if you really like those B-type movies, well, there you go. Now, this next little bit might be taken a little bit from James's segment, but he'll understand when I talk about this, because anybody who's been watching the show for a long time knows that one of my biggest joys in life is the old mech anime from like the 70s. And, you know, I grew up on watching Force 5 and Star Blazers, and there's going to be a couple of things coming out which are going to be really, really cool. And we'll start with the granddaddy of them all, Mazinger Z. For those of you who are a little bit older, back in the early 80s, they had a show called Tranzor Z, and this is what it was taken from. But this is basically where the giant robot craze came from. Transformers, Gundam, all that stuff that basically derived from, mainly from this particular thing, along with Techidan 28. Anyways, so Volume 1 is a U.S. release, is going to contain 46 episodes. The series originally ran for 92 episodes, so they basically cut in half. So Volume 1 will be out on 4/29, Japanese audio, English subtitles, and definitely worth catching up if you have any interest.
I watched that show in 1974 when I was in Japan for the summer, and it was like, wow, Mazinger Z. Yeah, go ahead.
So no, that's fine.
Discotheque Media.
Yep.
Discotheque Media.
And then the other thing I had mentioned was Star Blazers, and it seems like Star Blazers have been kind of dormant for a few years, but with the release of the live-action movie in Japan a few years ago, which I'll get to in a minute, Voyager Entertainment has renewed their license with Space Battleship Yamato, and over the past year or so, they've updated Space Battleship Yamato, the animated series. So like the season 1, they've updated it with new graphics, and so it's basically the same story with a bunch of new elements thrown in, and they've just completed the first season, and they're working on different stuff. Anyways, so Voyager Entertainment has Star Blazers 21.99. The first episode with Japanese audio, English subtitles is available now, only in certain retail outlets though, so you need to go to www.starblazers.com for more information. But again, really looking forward to it. If you're a fan of the Yamato, you got to check that out. And which brings to my final point. The only way you've been able to see the Japanese live action movie, although it was like a year ago, it got released literally for like a week in like 2 countries in North America. It's only been available outside of this region, but they now have an official U.S. release on 4/29. There'll be a Blu-ray DVD combo pack. Again, English subtitles, Japanese audio, but the fact that we're getting an official release and not an import is just really cool, so I'm really, really looking forward to that. Moving on to gaming news really quick. It wouldn't be gaming if I wasn't going to talk about pinball.
That's true.
So a couple of things going on. The pinball phenomenon is really starting to pick up. Pinball Arcade is doing really well. They're starting to get information picked up by a lot of the major gaming news sites, Joystick and whatnot. And so rumors going around about maybe a Rock Band revival. I'm really hoping that that's the case. But any more information, we'll talk about that.
You still can't get the hip action with the iPad.
No, it's not the same. We are planning a return trip up to the Pinball Wizard Arcade soon. I did go up there recently. I did get some footage on my iPad, but I want to go up with a camera and do things right. There's also a new place that just opened up in Weymouth, Massachusetts called Pop-Up Pumpers Pinball. It specializes in machines from the 60s up to the 80s.
Say that 5 times fast.
Yeah, so I'm going to be trying to get an interview and a thing set up there. So
Is it
watch for
closer
that.
than
South Weymouth is just outside of Braintree, so it's closer.
Okay.
So looking forward to that. Okay, now on to the meat of the matter. Not a whole lot going on this month in video gaming realm, but the biggest thing by far is Titanfall. Titanfall is the flagship game of the Xbox One, and it'll release on March 11th on the Xbox One and on PC. It's done by Respawn Entertainment. Those are the guys, the heads of Respawn Entertainment were the ones that founded Infinity Ward, which did the Call of Duty series. So, you know, the really franchise Call of Duty games, Call of Duty 2, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, they're the ones behind that. I won't get into the reason why they split up from Activision, but anyways, this is the game that came up with. It'll also be on the Xbox 360 by a different development company later on the 25th. But here's a trailer for it so you can just see how awesome this game should be.
I should have been here. They're going to call us marauders, terrorists, or worse. I'm sorry. I promised you I'd never get back in one of those damn machines again. If you're looking down, I hope you understand. We left everything behind. Hell, getting here was just the beginning. You said it would be tough to start over, but I didn't listen. You said more would follow. I thought they'd leave us alone. I was wrong. But there's no turning back. This is our land. This is our land. And I will fight for it. I don't know if there's any honor left on the frontier. I don't know if there ever was. I just know I'm gonna make them pay.
Oh man, I gotta trade in my Commodore 64. Oh, yeah.
Needless to say, I have that on pre-order. I will be picking it up and watch for a future episode where we will have a review.
Nice.
The other trailer we have for you today, I will talk a little bit about it after the trailer. I have mixed feelings. The game looks incredible, but unfortunately, the company that did another game which had been in development hell for a few years, and it turned out to be not what they were talking about. But it's a different company doing this game, and it could either be one of the best games of the year or one of the biggest disappointments of the year. But anyways, check it out.
Peggy 18.
I'm Samuels. I work for the company. It's about your mother. We think we may have found her, Amanda. We get to shut the book. Ripley.
So Alien Isolation is going to be out on multiple platforms at the end of the year. Basically, it's set 15 years after the events of the original Alien, and if you watch the Aliens director's cut, there's a brief moment in there where Ellen Ripley is talking about her family, and she had a daughter, and she finds out that her daughter had died a couple of years ago. Well, her daughter is the main person in this movie. So set 15 years after the original Alien, the company comes to her, like you saw in the trailer, and basically says they found a transmission. They think they found her mom, and she goes to investigate, and she runs into an alien. So a lot of people remember the second movie by James Cameron as the quintessential action sci-fi movie. A lot of the stuff that you get in gaming today, Halo and stuff, they take a lot of elements for that. But the original Alien movie by Ridley Scott is one of the quintessential horror films. And a lot of the survival horror games that you have, Silent Hill, Resident Evil, take elements from that. And that's what basically this is. It's a single player, no multiplayer, survival horror game. It looks really great. I'm just hoping that it lives up to the hype. We shall see.
Looks like she's on the Nostromo.
Yeah.
So it may or may not be the Nostromo.
We'll have to see. So last but not least, certainly PAX East is coming up on April 11th to 13th. I am still trying to get press passes, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to cover it the way I'd like to. I still have my tickets for Sunday, so either way, we'll have a review of that in upcoming shows. And wish me luck. That's all I got.
Good luck.
So, again, we had talked about we're at TempleCon 2014. There's a bunch of cool stuff that we have to show you, and some of that stuff we are going to see right now, so check it out.
Hi, so I'm down here in the dealer's room at TempleCon. I'm here with Nick and Jillian from Emrys. So how are you guys doing?
Very well, thanks. How are you?
Very well.
Morning.
A little tired, but we're doing well.
So tell me about the things you have here, all these little leather bits.
That's broad. Yeah, we do. I do leather work myself. We do bracelets and cuffs and things like that. Some sort of steampunk devices and flasks. We do a lot of things with geeky imagery, but we try to put a classy take on it. We try to make it everyday wear that can be fun and different and geeky, but is not just a T-shirt. A little bit more than that.
Yeah, I do enjoy seeing all the different logos or emblems from different fandoms, even with the earrings and the leather bracers and things like that. Is excellent. On all are these what they call cameos?
Some of them. We do cast resin imagery as well. The cameos are more the three-dimensional ones.
Yeah. We call our resin stuff our pictorial pieces. It's essentially the same thing as a cameo. We'll put it in a fancy setting, but it's an image instead of a relief.
Right.
So in the necklaces there, yeah.
Yes.
All right, great. And you guys go to the different conventions?
Some, not a huge amount of them. We do Eurasia, we do TempleCon, Watch City Festival. We used to do Steampunk World's Fair years ago. That's kind of all the conventions we do nowadays. It's
we're
mostly
a little bit of a niche market in the conventions. We're hard to find.
Yeah. Commodity.
But yeah, now we stay local. Boston has a pretty thriving art market scene, so you can usually find us there. And people just love this stuff. They go nuts for it.
Yeah.
Yes, I know. I have a lot of Harry Potter fans like yourselves, that just love these kinds of things. And so I always wanted to try to feature you guys. So I'm glad I was able to catch you here at TempleCon.
Yes, here we are.
It's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Thanks, you too.
So here again at TempleCon 2014, as you well know from watching the show, which we've covered this convention multiple times, there's a lot of board gaming and card gaming, but me being known as the video game guy, they've always had a bit of a video gaming presence. And when they first started out, it was basically Neo Geo, SNK, arcade titles, but they've really expanded the stuff this year, and this is going to be one of the best classic arcades I have seen in some time. And the person behind this is TempleCon's convention director, Grant Garvin. Grant, how you doing?
Great.
So this is your own personal collection. I've got to say, some of these machines that you have in here, like I was talking to you earlier about the Tron and especially Tempest, some of the best examples of a restored machine that I have seen in years. Easily the best Tron I've played in decades. So you say this is a passion of yours?
This is an absolute passion of mine. Every one of these machines, I think 80% of them were non-working or partially working when I got them. This was the year when I knew I really had to make it happen. Last year we brought in a number of classic arcade games. The response was awesome. I just brought a part of the collection, and everyone's like, "Oh, you got to bring more. You got to do this. You have more." I'm like, "Yeah, I do, but it's going to take a little bit of work." And for about 14 months, I pushed and I pushed, and this is what the end result was. And just seeing people in here during the weekend, watching their faces light up when they come in, and seeing a game they haven't played in 25 years, it makes it all worth it.
I personally had fun with Tapper. You might know it if you played on like Xbox Arcade as Root Beer Tapper, but Grant's machine is actual Tapper, which you can't get on Xbox Live Arcade or anything like that because it was Budweiser sponsored, so it's a pretty rare machine. A lot of fun to play though. You know anything a little bit about that?
Well, Tapper, they made about 3,000 Tappers, and it's one of those weird pieces of arcade trivia because a lot of people were upset that they were marketing to children in arcades with the Budweiser beer brand. And Midway got a little gun shy, so a lot of Tappers were converted, and really there weren't many sold beyond that original 3,000 batch. Now 200 of them actually had color side art and full Budweiser beer tap handles to begin with. That one's like a mid-run. That one, I believe the serial number on that one's like 1489, I think. But it's a really clean Tapper. It's one of the cleanest games I have. It's one of the few games I picked up that was 100% working. I pretty much only had to do cosmetic stuff and polish the brass. So that was a good find.
Now, in the case of like Tron, and I know some of the others, you do you do all the work yourself and you do it from scratch. How much time does it take into restoring a particular machine?
It depends on the machine, but I would say that on average, a machine that's completely non-working, in terrible shape, it could take from anywhere to 1 month to 3 months, depending on the severity of what's going on. The way this community works, though, is that without other people involved to help you source parts, to help you with tech advice, to help you with just other things you might not have thought of, the community that exists out there for the arcade collectors is what makes this happen. Like, none of this could have happened without people all over the world allowing me to source parts from them, source knowledge from them, ask them questions, ask them advice. I've been doing this for about nine years, but you still need insight from other people both locally and abroad to make it happen.
Absolutely. It's really nice to see arcade gaming and pinball gaming, which I've talked a lot about extensively on the show. We went to the Pinball Wizard Arcade up in New Hampshire a few months ago, and it's really good to see a comeback. And the response here has been great. I mean, the people playing almost every machine. I think it's awesome. So next year, again?
Bigger. What I want to do next year, there's been a lot of people around the local community that have even been asking me this year, like, Grant, can I bring a few games? And, we were limited to space there this year, just to the stuff that I had. Next year we want to expand it, bring it out more, start letting some other games come in, people bring their collections. And we think it can really take off. And this could make TempleCon a hub of activity when it comes to arcade stuff in the Northeast.
That's awesome. Got to get some pinball in here, though. Do you have a favorite game that's here for you?
My favorite game here that I'd have to say I really enjoy Spy Hunter. Spy Hunter is one of those games, I've always enjoyed it. I enjoyed it as a kid, and I love it now. Oddly enough, it's also one of the hardest games to keep running. I've had to work on it 3 times, hot work on it 3 times on the floor this weekend, and it's stable now. But Spy Hunter's always been one of those problem children, but I love the game. So it's one of those things you really enjoy. Star Castle 2, another one of my favorites. So a lot of people have found me over there trying to knock out a couple high scores. So.
Absolutely. I agree with you completely on Spy Hunter. Very hard game, but a lot of fun. So you got to come down here next year, since you're watching this, since you've already been here this year. It's been a lot of fun, and we are having a great time. Grant, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And now I am here with Kelly Hensing, artist extraordinaire, and she's going to tell us a little bit about her work and what inspires you.
What inspires me? Well, steampunk inspires me. That's one thing. That's why I'm here. This is my 4th or 5th year being here, and I love it. It's fantastic. I'm inspired by dreams and mythology and folklore, and I also like phobias and things that are kind of creepy, but also beautiful. So I guess beauty and decay, kind of a mix of the two things. A little bit scary, but also you want to still kind of look at it. And I also am into symbolism, so I try and put symbolism of animals and other elements within my work, so you can kind of figure it out like a puzzle.
Very nice. And how long have you been doing artwork for?
I've drawn since I was a little kid, and I've always wanted to be an artist. I really didn't get into the oil painting until I was in college, so I'm not going to reveal how long ago that was, but it was, I guess, 15 years, I guess I've been doing it. So.
Very nice. And do you have any public venue where we could see your work on display? Book covers, magazines?
I've done some role-playing book things and a lot of commercial illustration. The last few years, I've really been into the oil painting and pushing, getting into galleries and I guess more commission-based work, just doing my own paintings and my own ideas. So the next big convention that I'm really excited for is Spectrum Live. So that's in May. It's in Kansas City, Missouri. I don't know if people are familiar with Spectrum, the fantasy book, but they're putting out their 21st edition, and I do have a piece in there this year. But there's just a wealth of fantastic sci-fi fantasy illustrators in there and artists. So for me, I'm getting a lot of bigger paintings like this ready to have on display there to take part in that.
Very cool. Now, if people want to get a hold of you online, say, or to purchase some of your work, how would they go about doing that?
Yep, I have a website. It's WickieArts, WICKIEARTS. Also, Kelly Hensing works. And you can find a good display of my favorite stuffs up there, a lot of the paintings. I have some drawings. You can also get prints from there, too, in the contact section. And then if you have, commissions or something you see that you like, you can just email me or call, and I'm always available for people. So I have a studio in Brooklyn, New York that I keep, and then I also travel around, too, to do my work. So.
Okay, very good. Well, thank you very much for talking to us and taking the time. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right.
We are with Mr. Everett Soares, creator of Sky Pirates of Valendor.
Hello, TV land. How are you?
An awesome comic book if you have not read it yet. What are you waiting for?
What indeed?
Okay, Everett, what's going on? What do you have? What wonderful wares are you passing for us today?
Today, we are passing Sky Pirates of Valendor Volume 2. Ooh. The Intrigue of the Government. Ooh. This is where Tobin Mannheim, handsome gentleman right here, divides up his crew into two parties. Gears and Shani, the two females of the group, end up saving the Crown Prince of Valen, and Tobin and Brian take a vacation and go to Galea, which is the home of the elves. Hey, and what do you do on vacation when you're a pirate?
What?
You overthrow the Elven Monarch. Yes!
You get to drink lots of rum, too?
I hope so. I'm trying to this weekend. We're PG-13, right? Just want to check.
Yeah, we are.
Okay.
Yeah, we are.
All right. So basically, we've got the full volume, 158 pages, downloadable through Drive-Thru Comics.
Oh, nice. All right.
All right. Also, you can order it through skypiratesofvalendor.com if you get a close-up shot.
Right.
There we go. All right, go ahead. All right. And we'll deliver it out the next day. Well, not deliver, but we'll ship out the next day. Mm-hmm. And here we are at TempleCon.
Yep.
Really great steampunk show and gaming show. So you enjoying yourself?
We are enjoying ourselves very much. Yep.
Cool.
We did Sci-Fi Journal earlier today, so we did some good stuff. You're going to be on Sci-Fi Journal next month to talk about comic books and things.
Oh, yeah. We're going to preview what's coming out for Free Comic Book Day. Mm-hmm. And also, I'm going to give another shameless plug that Sky Pirates of Valendor 3 is going to be kicking up this year. So the taxes are done. The artist is getting off his projects. And we're going to go full steam ahead into the third series, which is Pirate Wars.
Right. Now, in addition to the graphic novels, you also have keychains and shot glasses.
What we have here is the handy-dandy dog tag bottle opener.
Ooh, I like it.
Okay. We have the stainless steel shot glass.
I like that, too.
When you're tired of waking up in a pool of broken glass in your own blood, no more. We've got stainless steel.
Oh, that works. All right.
And for a limited time only, we have our 8-ounce flasks, because these are going to be going away soon. We're going to be coming out with a new line later on this year.
Who's that?
This is Gears.
Okay.
This is the captain's ex-wife. Mm-hmm. And this is Shani, which is the captain's ex-girlfriend. He's got relationship issues.
He gets around, doesn't he?
One tries to shoot him, the other one tries to stab him. And this is our faithful captain, Tobin Mannheim. SkyPiratesOfValendor.com. Valendor is spelled VALENDOR.com. Also, you just put in Sky Pirates V into Google, it pops right up.
Okay, sounds good. All right, Everett, thank you very much.
Thank you. Have fun.
We will. This is where we talk about television and all the stuff that's coming up in the wonderful world of TV. There's a couple of new series coming up from the CW. Excuse me while I put on my old man glasses. Star-Crossed premiered Monday, February 17th at 8 p.m. It's a new series starring Amy T. Gardner as Emery and Matt Lanter as Roman. If you know the CW, you know that a lot of it is like teenage angst romance. This is pretty much what this is. An alien race called the Atrians crash lands on Earth, and after 10 years of conflict, they're acclimated to life on Earth. Emery and Matt meet in a high school designed to test the human Atrian integration, and yes, it's a romance with lots of teenage conflict. So check that out in the CW if you're into that kind of stuff. Also, the 100, which premieres Wednesday, March 19th at 9 p.m. 97 years after nuclear war decimates Earth, the survivors from the last space station send a group of 100 juvenile prisoners to Earth to test whether it's habitable. And the series stars Eliza Taylor, she's a newcomer, as Clark, Paige Turco, last known as a love interest on Person of Interest, as Abby, and Thomas McDonald from Suburgatory as Finn. So you can watch out for the 100. That one looks a little bit more interesting. Be cool. Chris Carter from The X-Files has a new series pilot. It's called The After. It's available for viewing on Amazon TV. If the pilot is picked up, the series will follow, and this is what I quote, 8 strangers who must help each other survive in a violent world that defies explanation. An Amazon Prime subscription will be required, but you can check out the pilot for free. Does everyone check that out? AMC has confirmed that a show based on the popular Vertigo comic book Preacher is on its way. So Preacher's coming to television with Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg executive producing. Now, they tried to get Preacher made into a TV series for years when DC still owned it. But recently, DC just lost the rights. And they went back to its original creators. And when they did, they were able to shop it around. It's been picked up by AMC and produced by those two guys. So we'll be seeing a series based on Preacher. The cast for CW's Flash pilot now includes Candace Patton as Iris West, Barry Allen's love interest, and Broadway alum Carlos Valdez as Cisco Ramon, a.k.a. Vibe. So they're saying this Flash series on the CW, which premieres later this year, is going to have more of a science fiction type feel to it than the Arrow series that's premiering right now. So you're looking forward to that. FX's American Horror Story Coven finished the season with its highest ratings, and now we just have to wait for season 4. So did anybody watch that show, American Horror Story? Oh man, that was a creepy show. Catch it if you can. Yeah, first season, well, I wasn't too fond of first season. I liked the second one. This third one about the witches was pretty cool. Of course, that gave me a chance to watch Day of the Doctor like 3 or 4 times too, so you could do that as well.
Really?
Yeah, really. Okay, and last but not least, John Scalzi's 2012 comedic sci-fi novel Red Shirts is headed to the small screen. FX has teamed with veteran feature producer John Shestak and producer-director Ken Kwapis and his partner Alexandra Beatty to develop a limited series based on the book, which won the 2013 Hugo Award. Search is underway for writers to pen the adaptation, with Kwapis set to direct the opening episode. It's set in the 25th century. Red Shirts follows the adventures of 5 new recruits on the starship Intrepid, who come to realize that the ship's crew members are dying at an alarming rate. Their investigation leads to a mind-bending discovery that a science fiction TV show produced in the early 21st century has somehow intruded upon their reality and warped it. In other words, the lives of the crew are following the course of a television narrative over which they have no control. So I don't know if you've read this book. It's gotten real good reviews. All right, and that's all I have this month for Toob News. Let's move on and look at some more TempleCon footage.
So I'm here with Ian Randall Strock, who's a publisher, author, an extraordinary person who's we've actually interviewed at previous BosCons many years ago. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for coming back. Or having me back, I guess.
Yes. And now your publishing company, Fantastic Books, you've got some great authors here.
Yeah, it's a fairly new, it's 3-year-old publishing company that I've started. We do half reprints and half original titles. And We're dedicated to books.
I love books. I wouldn't be like without a book. I don't even have an e-reader. That's how much I love books. Okay, so but there are also some available as ebooks.
Yeah, about a third of them we also have ebook rights for, but we're doing mostly trade paperbacks and hardcovers for people who actually want the physical thing and want to keep it because it's a book and it's a great thing to have. I know I walk into somebody's house and the first thing I look at is their bookshelf to see what they've got and if they shelve them the same way I do. You just can't see that with ebooks.
For me, it's that and the refrigerator. I can't help but open the refrigerator. But so what do we have here is.
Well, these two are our newest. They're actually launching next week officially. We've got Lou Antonelli's newest collection, The Clock Struck None, which is a collection of weird and alternate history tales. And we've got Tom Purdum's Lovers and Fighters, Starships and Dragons. This is Tom's first collection. Tom's been writing for half a century now. And this is, his first collection. We're really proud of it. It's got his Nebula-nominated story in it. And I'm really excited by these.
Great, thank you. Look forward to checking some of these out. And then, and you're also at the different conventions?
Oh, sure, yeah. I hit all the conventions in the Northeast. This is my first time at this convention, which is something new. I didn't know about it until 2 weeks ago. They said, actually one of my authors, Sharianne Lewitt, is one of the guests here. And they offered her a table. And she said, well, I don't have anything, but talk to my publisher. So I'm here with Sharianne's books as well.
Excellent. All right, thank you, Ian.
Thanks for having me on the show again.
I do anime news, and I'm also a huge Harry Potter fan, so sometimes I got some Harry Potter news. And in fact, as we're shooting, next weekend, February 15th, is the Beantown Brawl, a Quidditch tournament, mostly of the Massachusetts Quidditch Conference, but also it's an invitational, so they've got teams coming up from the Mid-Atlantic and New York City and stuff like that. So I believe NYU will be there and stuff like that.
Outside?
Yeah, well, no, actually, it's indoor in Tewksbury at a sports complex in Tewksbury. So even though they're calling it the Beantown Brawl and it's Boston, it's actually it's going to be played in Tewksbury. So we'll see what happens, how that turns out.
And the motto is "Watch your junk."
Right.
Yeah.
These teams they're already, a lot of them are slated to go to the World Cup in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, in April, but they need some play time beforehand to get some more. Instead of just practices, they need some competition play. So this is part of what they're trying to do with these tournaments. And the World Cup is happening in Myrtle Beach the first weekend in April. So I think that's the 5th and 6th. So most of the Massachusetts Conference and New York teams will be there. Our Rhode Island teams didn't make it this year. But the Southern New England Quidditch Conference has their regional tournament in April 12th. On April 12th at Wellesley College, there's going to be 9 teams. Most of those are the 2 Rhode Island teams, some of the Massachusetts teams, and I think that's it. Yeah, UMass and Wellesley, Clark, Smith, URI, the Providence. Your Brown students, that's the IPA, the Indian Point Ashwinders, who won last year's tournament, and a couple others. So that's happening April 12th. I'm planning on being there for that to help out. So and that's it for Quidditch news. There's some rock shows, Wizard Rock shows happening. We had Draco and the Malfoys in the February show that were great. That's airing now as we shoot, but there's a bunch of shows coming up in March and April. And then on to anime stuff. Let's see. Adult Swim on Cartoon Network now has extended their hours for playing from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. Starting March 31st. So if you love the shows that they have on Adult Swim on Cartoon Network, they're going to have some more hours. And then Toonami, which is the Saturday night anime block, they're adding Blue Exorcist February 22nd. And then they're also adding another show in March, which I mentioned in the last month's show. So they've got some new shows that they're going, and hopefully they'll keep doing that because I think they've really found some more audience, renewed audience numbers with having these newer shows instead of having umpteen episodes of Inuyasha and Bleach and stuff like that. Although I'm still enjoying Naruto, the original series, because I hadn't watched it before. They've restarted it, so it's starting back over. But they've added Naruto Shippuden, which is the new Naruto series on Toonami. So
if you're an insomniac, you can watch lots of Toonami.
Well, that's what VCRs and DVRs are for. Right. Toei, which is the production company that's responsible for many of the giant robot series that we love, including Mazinga Z and things like that, Kamen Rider. They have a Tokusatsu Hero World Museum in Chiba Prefecture, which is to the east of Tokyo. And they're actually selling these meat buns, or pan, kare pan and niku pan, which is
so that's
like
not
a stuffed bun.
That's not a typo on the screen.
No.
I thought it said Kamen Rider runs in Chiba,
No.
but it's
Kamen
Rider buns in.
Yeah, okay. Kamen Rider is a masked superhero. He doesn't grow large like the
Cool motorcycle.
like the Ultraman do, but they ride motorcycles. They kind of have this bug-like face, probably mostly based on the.
Guyver?
No, it's based on the. What's that bug that comes out every 17 years? Cicadas. It's based on a cicada, which in Japanese I believe is kamen.
Thank you, our audience.
Right. The kamen is the word for Japanese for cicada. So, Kamen Rider. So they have these sticky buns and things like that. Like it's almost like a bao in Chinese. It'd be a bao. All right, so they're serving those, and I thought, a Tokusatsu museum, that'd be cool too to go visit.
So you didn't bring samples?
No.
Of those big buttons?
No, but they have the face masks actually like printed onto the top of the bun or decorated like that.
Oh, like Cylon
so you can
toast.
actually eat them.
Did you get a picture to show everyone?
Yeah, there'll be pictures. All right, and then it's the 10th year of Death Note. Death Note was a great series where this young guy would write a name of someone in the manner of their death, and they would die. And they're doing a special project, a manga and maybe an anime for that 10th anniversary. So that's it I have for anime news this month. More next month.
We're on to a segment that we call, ready, Jay? Ready? Toys, props, and other
stuff.
That's close enough. Okay. Where we talk about the wonderful world of collectibles, and we'll be showing some collectible stuff here at TempleCon. Sound good?
Yeah.
Okay. This month for Toys, Props, and Other Stuff, we have a very special feature. We have, hi Nicole, how are you?
Hi, good, how are you?
Good. We have Giant Microbes, which are like little stuffed animal things about different microbes.
Yep.
Now, how did the company get started?
Basically, our owner, Drew Oliver, came up with this idea. He had, he has kids, and he was trying to think of like a really fun, educational way to explain to kids in a safe, non-scary way about germs and diseases. One of our first sellers was actually our common cold here. His little daughter had a bad cold and thought, hey, I'm going to make a stuffed animal of this. And from there, we've boomed to over 100 microbes, everything from the flu to brain cell, E. coli, everything.
Okay.
So,
now, each one of these two has a little explanation about what it is.
it does. Each one comes with a hang tag. It shows what it looks like under the microscope, has a nice explanation of the history, what it is, how to treat it if possible. And so they're used in schools, hospitals, for teaching aids. They're just a really excellent, educational item.
Sounds good. And you've also gone over into computer viruses as well.
Yes, we started computer viruses last year. They're actually made up in binary coding in zeros and ones. So the ones are electrical, the zeros are not. And those also come with a cute hang tag, and it actually has a pop-up like on your computer, like when you have a virus or something. And it's the same thing. It explains what it is, how to get off your computer, the history of it. So these come from like Trojan. We've got malware, we have worm, and those are expanding as well.
Oh, wow.
So,
Now, on average, these retail for how much?
about $8.95, $9.95.
Okay, and what about the big ones?
Our big ones here are $29.95, and they're really adorable because they're just a nice, big pillow.
Now, which
kind
one
of
is
a
this?
microbe. This is a white blood cell.
A white blood cell.
So I personally have a common cold one that I love at my house. So
That's good. Now, do you have a website?
we do. If you go to www.giantmicrobes.com, you'll see our over 100 microbes, and you'll have a link to the computer virus dolls as well. So.
All right, sounds good. So check them out, Giant Microbes.
do.
That's toys, props, and other stuff for this month. Thanks, Nicole.
Thank you so much.
All right, if you want to get in touch with us, our website is www.risfc.org. We also have a YouTube page, and we're on Twitter at RISFC. Please contact us, check us out. We have bi-monthly meetings for the Rhode Island Science Fiction Club. Our next one is this evening as we tape. So if you're watching the show, sorry you missed it. But we always get together like every other month for movie nights, and we do all sorts of trips and such. We've been around for 26 years, and we have lots of fun. That's going to be it for this March 2014 edition of Sci-Fi Journal from TempleCon. Thank you very much for watching. Any last words, dudes?
Thank you very much for our audience that decided to sit through this hour of pain. It's always fun to have our fans come out and take a look at us. So.
Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more.
All right. Okay, we'll see you next month.